Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rahmadila Manotami. In this video, I will explain about language, dialects, and varieties. Language is a communication system used by all people throughout the world. According to Lexical Dictionary, language is the system of communication used by a particular country or community. If language used by a particular community, its main language relates to society or social life. We can check the definition of language according to Hickey. Language is both a system of communication between individuals and social phenomena. The relationship between language and society can be learned in sociolinguistics. The area of language and society is intended to show how our use of language is governed by such factors such as class, gender, or race. So we must realize that the usage of language varies from place to place. Language usage also varies among social classes. Next, dialect. According to Richard Nordquist, a dialect is a regional or social variety of language distinguished by pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. Dialect is a variety of language that signals where a person comes from. The noun is usually interpreted geographically, but it also has some application in relation to a person's social background or occupation. Regional dialects. The easy way to observe variety in language is by regional variation. When one travels through a certain region, they pick up the different dialects that may be mutually unintelligible. There may be one region that speaks the same language, but depending on the location, the pronunciation, choice of words, and syntax will be different. A dialect pathway occurs when the standard language takes over and local language, although they are spoken extensively throughout the region, become disaffected socially and politically. According to Petit, pathways only exist in the lower strata of society. A dialect has a wider geographical distribution. With such distribution, a dialect geography is then used to map the linguistic features in various places to show their geographical provinces. With dialect geography, a dialect boundary can then be formed. Speakers on one side of the boundary may speak a different dialect than those on the other side. Finally, many times dialect is confused with accents. The way things are pronounced, for example, standard English is spoken by many around the nation, but the way they pronounce the words is different. One English accent is known as received pronunciation and is used by those in better parts of society of England. Other languages don't have an RP. For educated, regional varieties are preferred rather than upper-class accent. Apart from being geographically based, dialect may be used to detect differences in speech that are associated with certain social classes. Various factors such as occupation, cultural background, class of residence, and education can be used to determine social class. These factors have a correlation to the way we speak. In India, for example, the caste system is the biggest social differentiator and determines the variety of language that will be used. It's also possible to speak different variations of one language and use them in relation to the context. For example, at home or intergroup variations. Ethnic variation is the US is due to great range of differences in speech of different groups of people in cities. which are more difficult to pin down linguistically. Next, varieties. Hudson and Ferguson agree in defining variety in terms of specific set of linguistic items or human speech patterns which we uniquely associate with some external factors. Human speech patterns, presumably sounds, words, grammatically, etc. We can conclude that varieties is general term for any distinctive form of linguistics. Varieties expression of language develop for a number of reasons. For example, people who live in different geographic areas often develop distinct dialects.